Hi everyone, a bit of a different setting today. My husband is working from home today and we share the same study, and if you've ever tried to film while your partner's in the room, I find it really hard, especially because he talks, he likes to make commentary, and I don't need the commentary. I just want to film, do my thing, you know? I'm sorry if I'm a bit sassy today, but I do have my period. I haven't had my period since before I was pregnant, and it's been nice, but now I have it again and I'm not feeling great and I don't feel like I look great. So today I just want to play with some makeup, beautify my face a little bit, and perk my spirits up because I really need it. Even outside it just looks terrible. We're going to play with some color today. I haven't worn color in ages, unless you count brown and neutrals as color. One of my subscribers, Melissa, sent me this gorgeous palette from Menagerie Cosmetics. This is the Violet Ink palette. I've been lusting after this for ages, and it was so sweet of her to give this to me. Thank you so much. It's such a nice gift. I'm gonna seriously treasure this forever, and it has such a fun purple color story. I love that these purples are a little bit more unique than what you see in a lot of purple palettes. They've got kind of more bluey toned purples, two beautiful shimmers. I must say I don't wear purple a whole ton, but I feel like I do like some purple in my life every now and again, and I feel like in a way I am lucky in the sense that most colors look not too bad on me. There are some that I definitely stay away from, like grays, things like that just look terrible on me. Anything that has kind of a grayish tone will tend not to look great on my skin tone, but I think these kind of purples I feel like definitely can work. I'm gonna do a look today with this and let's see where it goes. Obviously I haven't got any makeup on, and I'm not going to do any primer just because I actually don't have any of my makeup stuff here except for a bunch of brushes and this palette. I am going to start with Jellyfish, which is this gorgeous kind of lilac-y, it's a lilac purple, I would say. A color that is very trending, very much trending in fashion right now. It's definitely very different for me because I don't often wear these kind of colors, and they're very, very pigmented. They do take a little bit of work. I should probably zoom you in. I'll zoom you in. Hopefully the lighting is okay because I never film in here. So let me know, have you guys got this palette? Are you into purples or kind of onto the brown bandwagon? I feel like everyone I watch is kind of gone 360 and gone back to kind of like neutrals and browns and things like that. And I have to say, I love me a good brown. I mean, if you watched one of my more recent videos on fuss-free eyeshadows, a lot of them are like coppers and taupes and things like that, just because I find they're quite easy to pull off and they match my eyes. I do look a little bit crazy right now, but we are going to, this is just really rough right now. What else has been happening with everyone? I feel like this year, it's already started off pretty badly, especially in Australia. We've had the bushfires, and then now we've got coronavirus. People are stocking up on toilet paper, canned tuna, water. When I was at Costco the other day, on a Tuesday night, which is generally very quiet, there was so many people stocking up on stuff. I'm gonna use this shade next, Iron Grip. I can understand why people are worried about coronavirus because it's so contagious. It's gotten so much media attention and people are scared. People are freaking out about it and worried that they're gonna catch it. It almost seems, in a sense, inevitable that this is gonna be something that, you know, is gonna be as common as the flu, is what I've read. The overreaction to it compared to a lot of other things is actually astounding. Obviously, we all have to take precautions in whichever way we need to, whether or not that be because you've got, you know, grandparents, or you've got a compromised immune system, or you've got some underlying health issue. I can totally understand that. But at the same time, the lengths that the government is going to address this, it's pretty, I would say, I've not seen anything like this. I'm gonna use this shade in the Outer V. Compared to other, you know, deadly outbreaks. People are still not really going to mass gatherings. I know that a lot of the Asian suburbs here are super, super quiet. It is a little bit concerning. Like, when are things gonna return back to normal? I don't know, things just seem really uncertain right now. They're putting a lot of decisions on hold. A lot of people I know have cancelled their trips overseas and just don't want to take the plane. I feel like I sit in the middle. Obviously, I want to take my own precautions so that I stay healthy, my family stays healthy. Things like washing our hands, avoiding too much contact, with people, like intimate contact, like shaking people's hands, kissing people, things like that. And making sure, like, if, God forbid, one of us were to get it, that we are prepared to self-quarantine, because the health authorities have said if you have got it, then you are to self-quarantine to make sure we've got enough food and all that. What shimmer to use? They both look gorgeous. I might just use my finger. Ooh, that's very pretty. What should I put on the lower lash line? I'm gonna use this Rephr brush they sent me. This is the P23. It's a really nice pencil brush. Love the size of it. And I'm gonna use, again, Iron Grip. This is probably my favorite purple in the palette. I just like the tone of it, that it's a bit warmer. I think this purple works really well with brown. I mean, all these purples can work well with brown, but this one in particular. I'm also actually going to use a bit more of Inkjet on the lash line at the top. I don't feel like Inkjet has amazing pigmentation compared to the other shades. Like, I feel like it doesn't really show up all that much. But yeah, man, that's really purple. And I think that's all I want to do with it. But yeah, that was a bit of a tangent about coronavirus, but I feel like it's been on the news and it's been on my mind, and it, for a while. I haven't really talked about anything that's been happening, but it seems to be affecting everyone. And even my toilet paper subscription, who gives a crap, has sold out. I literally only have like 4 toilet rolls left in the house, so I actually need toilet paper. But it's crazy, like, people are sending toilet paper to Japan, where apparently, I was also watching on my Instagram, they've got shortages there as well. It seems like people are stockpiling just in case. I don't know, hopefully we won't have to get to the point where we're all like just staying at home and not going out. But yeah, I hope you guys all stay calm and carry on. I will do another look with this palette and hopefully not ramble too much about really depressing things. This is the look. I did actually end up putting on some makeup because I feel like, especially with a very colorful look, if you don't do your base, you look even more tired. And I think purple, in particular, you have to be very careful, because purples can sometimes, I think, especially around the eyes and the dark circles, it can, in a way, make it more obvious. So I did end up putting some makeup on, and yeah, I think it just has brought the whole look together, to be honest. I've used the Pat McGrath foundation, I've used my Hourglass palette for bronzer, and then for blush, I've got the Hourglass Ambient Lighting in Radiant Light, which is one of my favorite kind of bronzy, beautiful blushes. It just brings a bit more warmth back into my face, because I definitely feel like when I'm using cooler tones, I need to balance it out with some warmer tones, whether it is, a bit in the crease, on the cheeks, etc, etc. So I generally like the colors in here. I will have to say that sometimes I feel like they can get a bit patchy and you need to put them back on as you blend. They kind of lose a bit of pigmentation, especially Jellyfish. I've added more of that back into the crease because I feel like that kind of disappeared. I do feel, again, that Inkjet is a little bit on the sheer side in terms of pigmentation, because I don't know, I feel like you can barely see it. I feel like it has given some depth, but it's not very, very obvious. I think the metallic is very pretty, but I think out of all these shades, my favorite is still this one. I really like this one. I think all these shades seem to work really nicely together. I would not necessarily say that it looks like I'm wearing 5 different shades of purple on my eyes, but there you have it. So hopefully you like this one, and I will do another one. The next one is one of the ways that I've been really enjoying putting makeup on in the past. I haven't actually done this technique in a while, but I thought I'd try this. I've just removed the makeup off. There is a little bit left, but we're gonna pretend like it's a clean slate. This time I'm going to use this shade 3 Hearts, which I haven't used so far yet. And I'm going to add this on the rubber lid. I'm just going to use my fingers. I do feel like most of the time these kind of shades work the best with a finger. And I haven't got any like primer on or anything. So usually I would, but because I'm not where I usually would be, just gonna work with it. It's a really gorgeous royal purple. I personally don't like taking my color up too high because of my eye shape, but just work with what you've got. So that's it really. And the good thing about using fingers is you very rarely get any fallout versus a brush, because it's all just packed on the finger. And this is kind of like how I used to do my makeup back before I knew how to use brushes. But now I'm going to take this infinity gloss, and this is kind of like it's a gloss. You can use it for the face, eyes and lips. Now all glosses, when you use it on the eyes, they do crease. So what I like to do is I like to add a little bit of gloss above the crease, and I feel like that way you don't get the creasing. But I do feel like it gives that, just that extra like sheen. I don't know, it just looks really pretty, I think. A little bit more, I don't know, editorial. And you don't want to put too thick a layer either. That's what that looks like. I think that's really pretty. It's super dark outside, so I don't know how the light is going to look, if I'm going to look too blue. But yeah, I just think that looks really pretty. Very simple look with some color, and just give it that something extra. It's the next day, so I've decided to do another look, but my eyes, they were quite stained, and so I thought I'd give them a bit of a rest. The stain seems to have gone after I've done my double cleanse, but I feel like I definitely needed to use primer. So this time I have used the Hard Candy eyeshadow primer, and I'm going to use these purple shades the way that I would on a normal basis. Like, I'm going to work today, and I've decided to match with my eyeshadow. So I'm going to use my Pretty Cool palette from Joseph Colors. It's a palette that I constantly reach for because I really do like these cool tone browns. And generally speaking, I like to use the lighter shade, which is this one here, kind of in the crease. So we're going to do that first. It's a very subtle kind of light brown, but it does give my eye a little bit of dimension. Why don't I zoom in a bit? It's a bit easier for you to see. And then I like to add a bit of the next two shades, which are slightly deeper, into the outer V, and kind of slightly across the mobile lid, but not taking it all the way in. So it's just a mix of those two colors. And then I'll use that other brush that I had with the lighter shade to kind of blend it out. I'm also going to take a combination of those two shades on the lower lash line as well. So that's the base that I'm going to start with, and now let's add some purple. So I'm going to take my favorite purple from this palette, and that's this one. I feel like it matches with my pants. It's pretty much the same color as my pants, but anyway. And I like to add it in the outer V as well, rather than right on the mobile lid. Just a smidge there. And I'm also going to take the same brush that I used for my lower lash line and add a bit of that deep brown and line my upper lash line. Sort of blend it in with the purple. I am kind of trying to pan this shade. I feel like I can pan it soon because I love this deep brown. I'm also going to add a little bit of that purple on the lower lash line, and I'm going to use this brush, this Rephr brush, the 03 brush. Let me know if you guys ordered any of the Rephr brushes and what you think of them, because I think all of the pre-orders would have shipped by now. So I'm curious to know what you guys think of them, but I'm still loving them. They're some of my most used brushes in my collection. Along with my Sonia G brushes, they're probably my favorite. If you've gone too kind of low, which I feel like I have a little bit, it's okay. We can just use our foundation brush and just kind of smooth it out. So that's it. That's where I like to add the purple. It's subtle, but I think it's quite pretty. By the way, in case you want to know what's on my lips, it's this Color Haze Multi-Matte Pigment from Ilia. Absolutely love this shade. This is actually a lip and cheek shade as well, and they work equally good on both areas. So good, and it also smells kind of like chocolate. So those are my 3 purple looks using the Violet Ink palette from Menagerie Cosmetics, kindly gifted to me. I know this video went on a weird tangent at the start, and I do apologize for that. It's just, I feel like I'm constantly seeing bad news on the TV. It gets a little bit depressing after a while, and I'm sorry if I'm not as cheery as I usually am. Sometimes these videos are a little bit of my stream of consciousness. I don't plan them, I don't plan what I'm gonna say. I just want to sit down and do some makeup to make myself feel a little bit better. Let me know what you think about these looks. Which were your favorite? Realistically, this is really how I would wear these the most frequently. I have actually done this look before, and I really like it. I really enjoy it. When I want to add a little bit of pop, but still keep those browns in, because generally speaking, I do actually do matte eye looks the most frequently, because I don't tend to wear a lot of shimmer to work, but each to their own. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know which one's your favorite, and let me know if you've got this palette. What do you think of it? Are these your favorite purples? What are your favorite purples? I do have to say, I really have been enjoying this palette as well, the Alma palette from Amy Loves Makeup. I need to do more looks with this palette on my channel at some point as well. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.